What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Call of Duty World War II on BlackTideTV. Welcome back to the channel. No, I am not dead, though I may have felt it a few days in the last week. I'm a little sick, my voice is a little strange, and that's something you'll need to deal with over the next few videos. In today's video, I'd like to discuss the Resistance DLC season, which is what I'm referring to the Resistance event, which is currently occurring until the end of February, if I'm not mistaken, as well as the Resistance DLC, the first map pack, in conjecture. The two of them together, I'm calling the Resistance season. And that's because this whole DLC situation, where some people get access to the new maps if they pay the $15 entry fee, whereas everyone else gets all of the additional items that should be coming alongside a DLC. It's a very strange situation, but I'd like to kind of wrap your minds around an idea by the end of today's video of a full, all-encompassing DLC in the future for a Call of Duty game. The way that this DLC has been implemented alongside the Resistance event is so cool, in that you're given these cityscape maps like Anthropoid, Valkyrie, and Occupation. These multiplayer maps are very close quarters. They are large maps. They are very, very large maps, but the encounters that you're in these maps are close quarters, and they're city fighting. It's street to street, it's room to room, and it gives you this really, really cool rough and tumble feel, like the city fighting feel that you want from a boots on the ground Call of Duty game. Occupation, of course, being a Modern Warfare 3 map remake, it's going to be right out of the Modern Warfare era. But even Anthropoid, I feel very, very connected to in a modern standpoint. Like, it feels like a Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 map, in that it's very hectic and there's always things happening, especially in objective-based game modes. And they also give you like this division, and they give you all these new weapons that are very good in that situation. For example, the Resistance event has given access to absolutely every player a brand new Resistance division, which gives you a pistol tactical knife, the scrambler on the radar, an additional pistol attachment, faster weapon swap, and the 6th sense on the radar as well. So you can see where enemies are when they're close to you, you can scramble their radar, you can run around these city street corners, and you can melee people, and you can just knife people like crazy. They've given us a new pistol, the 9mm semi-automatic pistol. They gave us the combat knife, and then they gave us two very, very powerful weapons for close range engagements, the Volkssturmgewehr and the Orso. Both of these are very high fire rate, very high impact weapons for close range. So they've built this entire DLC season, and they've given all of the players access to these things so that you can take these things and use them on those new maps and in the new war mode. The new war mode, Operation Intercept, is very close quarters as well. Right off the bat, you are rescuing hostages, so you're getting really close in, you got to open up the door and you got to save all the hostages, you're blowing up walls. It's very intimate in terms of being in a soldier engagement. It isn't escorting a tank the entire way. It's like you got to get in there and you got to fight like tooth and nail right against your enemies, and that's what kind of brings this whole thing together when you're using the Resistance Division. The Resistance Division is built for that war mode, and it is built for these large city streets where when the scrambler goes off and you're looking for that enemy, you don't know what street they're going to be on because you're standing in this kind of city center and there's like 4 streets that are all coming to this one area that you're standing on. You have no idea where that guy is going to be, and then boom, you just got tactical knifed in the back. So I love the entire theme of this Resistance DLC, and it's really unfortunate that so many players are being kept out because they did not pay the entry fee for the maps. I think the maps are very, very nice. I like Anthropoid, though there is a river in the middle of it, Anthropoid being the gameplay that you're seeing right now. There's a river that cuts off half of the map, or more like a third of the map. And that third of the map, I feel, does not get used as often as the other 2/3 of the map, and it kind of slows down the gameplay a little bit. But besides that, I really like the design of Anthropoid. I like all of this kind of architecture. I think it's got some really cool sight lines, and I love just battling people on the docks, and I like how they implemented the water situation. You can jump in the water, you can like swim through the water and kind of like hide from enemies. If they're chasing you down, you can jump in the water and maybe deke them out a little bit. There's all these little pathways. Valkyrie, I'm not the biggest fan of. You're going to see some Valkyrie gameplay in just a moment, and that is Hitler's the Wolf's Lair. So you go out there and it's like this, there's like a couple bunkers. That map is actually very closely detailed off of Detroit from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And I noticed this somewhere. I don't think I'll be able to put up a comparison, but if you look up online like the comparison, the map design, the map layout is almost identical to Detroit from Advanced Warfare. So we more or less got two remade maps, because this one is very, very, very close. If you did play Detroit, it's just, it doesn't have the lateral movement. It just has the horizontal plane of Detroit. You've also got all like the same kind of doorways, the same kind of gunfights happening in the same areas, the same crazy spawn trap at the back of the map. I'm not the biggest fan of Valkyrie, but Anthropoid I'm a big fan of, and Occupation, of course, is the Modern Warfare 3 remake of Resistance. We got a remake of Resistance in Infinite Warfare. Now we have a remake of Resistance here in World War II, and this is the game to make a remake of that map for, especially because it's the Resistance DLC, so they're going to remake the map Resistance, and they called it Occupation. It is a really nice map. I love the way it's designed, but like in terms of how they've made it look for this game, but it's the third or fourth time we've seen that thing be remastered, and I think they could have done better. They could have done some more Advanced Warfare maps, but I mean, then again, we've got Detroit right here. I'm more of a mindset that I would prefer to have all new maps. I would rather have 3 brand new maps or 4 brand new maps plus a war map plus a zombies. I didn't touch the zombies, so I can't tell you anything about the Darkest Shore here, but I haven't even touched zombies at all, but apparently I've heard it's very good. Apparently the zombies in general in this game is very good, but we're talking about multiplayer here. The war mode is very nice. I do really enjoy the war mode, but in terms of the maps themselves, Valkyrie is meh. The Anthropoid is really nice, and Occupation is really nice as well, but that is a remake. But all of these maps just lend themselves so perfectly to the Resistance seasonal event, where you've got all of the new Resistance gear, and you're like decking out your new character, and you've got the Resistance Division with all those new abilities. There's all these new weapons that are perfect for these maps. Like, they are made for these maps, these larger than life maps. Like Valkyrie and Anthropoid are so large, you're going to spend a lot of time running around, but then the gunfights that you get in these maps are closer range gunfights. And the Volk Sturmgewehr is one of the best guns in the game. The Orso is very competitive in these kind of close range, in the little rooms running around the map kind of feel. Like, these weapons are built for these game modes, or for these maps, and it just seems like they could have given the maps away as well, is what I'm saying. This seems like an event that should be for everybody, like the winter event where they gave Winter Karantan to everybody, which again, Winter Karantan is now in the rotation for everyone, strangely enough. So you can play on regular Karantan if you pre-order the game, but Winter Karantan is in regular rotation for everybody. It's kind of strange, but the way that the DLC works in the Call of Duty franchise, it's dated. And nobody wants to pay $50 for a season pass or $15 every time a DLC comes out. People would rather have the access to all of these things just by buying the game in the first place. And people would I definitely think more and more people will be buying supply drops and buying the things in game, like those little microtransactions, if they got the maps for free. That's the problem with the Call of Duty franchise right now, is that they expect you to buy the game right off the bat for like $80. Then they want you to buy the season pass for another $50, $60, $70, however many dollars the season pass costs. I bought a special version of the game that includes a season pass. It was like $120 or something. So buy a special version of the game or whatever, get your extra add-ons. Then you're going to buy your season pass, and then you're going to buy like each of the DLCs if you didn't buy the season pass, and then they want you to buy microtransactions as well. Well, the thing is, you kind of have to pick one road. You have to pick the season pass, where that includes all of your items, all of your weapons, all of your maps, or you pick the supply drops. And the supply drops, and then all the maps and the weapons and everything are free, and then the supply drops give you those cosmetic items. So it would be really cool if this is kind of a step in the right direction. Like, we've got most of the community on this Resistance train, and a lot of people are really enjoying the Resistance items, the whole themed event in the headquarters, and we've got all these new weapons and the new division, and it's great to see free things, and everyone is freaking out because look at all this free stuff that they're just giving away. They gave us a new division. Like, that's something that you would have had to pay for in the past in the Call of Duty franchise, guaranteed. So it is a step in the right direction, but especially because we are getting almost shafted on the DLC now. The maps are nice, but only 2 new multiplayer maps, 1 remake, 1 half remake, because Valkyrie is pretty damn close to Detroit. So we've got 1 new map, 1 half remake, 1 full remake, which we just got remade last year, a war map, which they have an entirely different developer working on. Raven Software specifically works on war mode for this game. So that's an entire developer working on 1 map for every couple months, and then we've got zombies. So really, all of that stuff could be packed up and given to the audience absolutely free. And they could get away with that with how much money they're making from the supplied up system. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think about the Resistance event in the comment section down below? Did you get the DLC? Did you not? What do you think about the new maps? Let me know. I might do a map breakdown or something in the future. Let me know what you think about that. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all on the next video.